Okay, welcome back. We're going to be talking about transitions now. Between all of these different aspects, we have a lot of different elements here. So if we had another background, then we could add a transition to that too. But we have transitions that we can apply to our text, to our image, and also to our audio if we have transitions between those. So what we're going to do is start with our text here, and there are different options about applying transitions. But first, let's take a tour of the transitions window. What's nice, a nice feature about WeVideo is you can click on a certain transition and it'll show you how that will look. So I'm going to play that again. See a crossfade, which is a really basic transition that's used in most everything, takes you from one to the next with a nice, gentle transition between the two. So cross blur, that's what that can do. Cross zoom, cross mosaic. It all just depends creatively how you'd like to communicate your transitions. If we want to do something that's really dramatic, we can do a dip to black. Dip to white is something that's a little bit brighter but has the same effect as dip to black. Let's go with burn. That has a sort of a sepia transition between the two, but it's also a crossfade, so it's applying something of a wash or a color filter. And then you have a lot of other options here. I just recommend you play and see what's possible. So what we can do in order to apply those to our different elements is I'm just going to try a pull down, just a drag and drop, a crossfade between these two pieces of text, Matthew Henson and Trip North. So let's see how that plays. I'm just going to forgot about our music. I'm going to take that out for a second, as it becomes a little bit distracting. Okay, so here we're going to listen to, or we're going to see how our transition is applied. So one goes into the next. Let's try a different transition. Cross blur. And that's what that looks like. We can also have a little bit more variability, that if we want to use this pop-up that allows us to do a cross dissolve between these two. What we've learned is that the duration is at a minimum of 1 second, but you can add to it if you want. So let's make it a 1.3, which makes it a little bit longer here, as you can see. Let's see what that looks like. Put our cursor bar back over. And so it's a little bit of a longer time that it takes in order to complete that. So let's go with 1.5. Again, it's a little bit longer. It would make that transition slower to complete. And it's just up to you. I would recommend a good rule of thumb is to use them maybe 2 or 3 different kinds sparingly and at key moments when you're doing your edits. Okay, we can do the same thing with our pictures. Cross blur. I'm going to, here we can see we have a plus symbol, add a transition, and that gives us a basic transition, which is crossfade at 1 second. So again, we can add the transition. If we don't want crossfade, we can turn it to cross blur or whatever you would like, but we can also change the timing as well. So let's see how that works together. And everything does need to work together, one to the next.